There's this thing called the butterfly effect, which is this brush of a butterfly's wing that sets off a ripple effect that creates a tsunami wave on the other side of the globe. And I've just seen it in action. I'm just one lady, but what AI has shown me is that this little lady from Cambridge with breast cancer can change the world.
I think a change maker is
being able to see a problem
and then develop something bigger than just themselves.
Not because that's what they're supposed to do, because that's what they want to do.
This is about trying to build a more prosperous, but also an equitable and healthy and happier future.
I feel like there's something in you that we need to tell people. I don't know what it is.
Can I tell a story? I was at a youth tech conference, and this young lady came up to me afterward, and she had tears running down her face.
I approached Ellen, saying how much it resonated with me. I had gone through an eating disorder throughout my high school years.
And so what gave you the strength to overcome that? Okay. Let's take a minute, okay? Do you want to go for a walk?
Just have a tissue. Hearing her say how much pain she went through as an individual throughout her breast cancer diagnosis, and then wanting to transform that to help others and relieve that for other people in the future, just solidified my resolve to want to create this tool.
Waterloo region is on track to grow over 1 million people. We need to be ready to build the social infrastructure in place, now or never.
The magic in this tool is that what we're doing is we're making that decision faster and better.
I want to take this into a future where women are finally empowered about their own bodies.
This can be a stepping stone for that ultimate support.
The future is always changing, and this initiative is a change in the future.
I just want to see people prosper. I just want to see people living truly to their potential. The lights reignited, the fire reignited in the voices of people, and saying, please, don't let the light go out.
That's okay. Oh, one more. There we go. All right, so next up, we have Elaine Zhao, right? Is that how you pronounce it? Okay, close enough. So Elaine is actually a high school student at Laurel Heights, right? So Elaine is part of the reason why we're here. She decided that she wanted to build an Ask Ellen-like tool as well, and we decided to make a program. So a big shout out to Elaine. I forget sometimes she's in high school, so Elaine also is really good at stealing the show. Like, we did an interview yesterday, I was like, okay, this is gonna be awesome. And Elaine just owned the interview with us. Like, the interviewer just like stopped paying attention to us. It's like, just let me talk to Elaine right now. So without, So without further ado, I introduce Elaine.
Hello. You guys can hear me? Okay, thank you. So 1 year ago, I was standing on a stage not unlike this one. I was a few centimeters shorter, a little less healed than I am today, much less nervous to speak in front of an audience. I was performing a TEDx talk confronting weight stigma and beauty pressures while sharing my own experience with an eating disorder. 3 years ago, I exercised until I was hollow and break down if I passed my food restrictions. My past eating disorder and others are not about vanity or not wanting to eat. It's an impossible navigation between one's internal critical voice and your body's volatile reactions and desires, losing yourself in the process. Eventually, what helped me heal was conversations. a school friend and I were on a parallel recovery journey, and we talked to each other through our difficulties, help each other feel seen, and unpack the fatphobic discourse surrounding us. It's certain that conversations ignited a self and world awareness, helping me heal. Now, our culture is noisy. It attempts to, and often succeeds at linking happiness, health, and moral highness to the mere contours and creases of our bodies. But there's a need for change when 70 million people battle eating disorders, and less than 1 in 5 receive treatment. When males, higher weight, minority background, and LGBTQ+ individuals are significantly less likely to receive eating disorder support, in large part due to stigma, and yet in many cases, they are at elevated risk compared to their counterparts. And where we live in a world where eating disorder caregiving burden often exceeds that of those supporting patients with depression or schizophrenia. And add on to all this, the fact that at least 90% of women are unhappy with their bodies, and up to 85% of men grapple with their muscularity. These are key risks for eating disorders, and not to mention make being comfortable in one's own skin the anomaly. Currently, safe conversation spaces to begin to defy these statistics are hard to come by. Real-life dialogue and social media can be minefields to navigate. So in the need to create a safe space, I've built HiEddy. It's a companion for when you feel guilt from resting instead of exercising, when you need a body neutrality affirmation, when you are seeking the best reply to a colleague who speaks again of dieting, or want to support a loved one with an eating disorder. It's not a replacement for medical care, but a powerful tool that you can confide in and a voice of reason to pierce through the messaging. Now, I'm very overjoyed to say that HiEddy's impact is already being felt. Arhana, a first-year university student in the US, has confided in HiEddy about body comparisons with her sorority sisters. She says, and she was stunned by Eddie's actionable suggestions, saying it made the whole process easier rather than having to figure it all out myself. Now, HiEddy's suggestions are actually backed on real support strategies designed with the help of mental health experts Vanessa Quilbeck and Lindsay O'Reilly. Shout out to Vanessa, who's in the room today. Indigo, a New York Times recognized advocate for male eating disorders, has also used HiEddy. In the past, he's shared how stigmatizing feminine labels on the male beauty experience and on speaking out about these issues stopped him from seeking help during his journey with anorexia. He says that having an accessible voice like Eddie's would have been invaluable. And also, recently, HiEddy was shared to a family of a child going through an eating disorder. They've been on a wait list for an inpatient support program, and that wait list is months long, so they've been in crisis. But recently, they spent a whole evening chatting with Eddie and was able to find emotional support and information at a time help was lacking. So all of these stories not only make me feel so fulfilled, but they speak to how HiEddy can circumvent barriers to support. But let's address an elephant in the room. How can HiEddy best support user sensitivities? When it comes to eating disorders, words are daggers that can reopen wounds. My relapses were often the effect of a peer's passing comment, and we need to pay careful attention to design and wording. This led me to research eating disorders and chatbot technologies, culminating in a conference paper that then helped us design carefully Eddie for user empathy. And here are just some of her key features. First, she asks thoughtful, open-ended questions. This helps create the opportunity for you as a user to reflect, gaining self-awareness, and emotional relief. Secondly, Eddie's logo, a rather adorable pictorial character, is non-human, and in doing so removes body comparisons and upholds a safe interactive environment. Third, self-efficacy is a crucial part of recovery, and so HiEddy's tone is soft and non-pressuring. This also, in other words, means that for one to recover, one needs to be empowered to take action and believe that their actions have a direct impact on their outcomes. So HiEddy employs phrases like, if you would like to share, and is soft and promotes a sense of agency. And HiEddy further reinforces that recovery is a possible and worthy pursuit, and empowers users with the fact that they are capable of change. And fourthly, HiEddy's knowledge base is grounded in comprehensive research and many body image and eating disorder experiences. It includes a series of interviews I conducted with people with a range of eating disorder experiences, plus online accounts of neurodivergent individuals, athletes, males, and more. HiEddy offers these perspectives, often lesser heard viewpoints, alongside her own to resonate with the diversity of users. Now, before I move on to my fifth point, are there any parents in the room? Okay, wow, majority of the room. Well, it wasn't the exact same, but I had a similar joy of naming my brainchild HiEddy. HiEddy's name, as a female, subverts conventional male conventions with it, which I hope can signal non-rigidity and open up the space for inclusivity and all sorts of users. And so all of these traits speak to the innovation of HiEddy, but the most important one, I think it's the fact that it's a mirror to help others see themselves more clearly. Give me 1 second. I need to see my script more clearly. Okay, the most important feature is how HiEddy helps others see themselves more clearly. To help you step outside harmful thoughts and begin to defy them. To begin to clarify your identity amidst external forces that try to distort our own reflections. Today, no one is immune to negative body image, and HiEddy sparks self and world awareness for healing. This tool is a symbolic goodbye to a culture where we measure value in our appearances and not as it should be, our constant learning, our relationships, and who we uplift. Say hi to HiEddy.
Well, that was pretty good, eh?